Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello, and welcome to the shit show. Hi, hello. I am tired today. Holy. I'm just starting my second coffee, so maybe we'll like bounce into action, like pow. But I don't know. Nothing really new happened. There's a video I have been meaning to watch now for 2 days that I haven't watched yet. It's like 40 minutes long, and I want to watch it so bad. Because I think it's called Remembering a Titan, and it has the picture of BT and a pilot on it from like Titanfall 2, which we played on stream like last month. I want to watch it so bad, because I want it to be like a secret reveal. I want them to be like, yeah, it's so unfortunate that we're not making Titanfall 3. And then they just do it anyway. Just like hit us with like a trailer like next week. Like, oh, actually Titanfall 3? And then we're like, because I'd be down. Yeah, I'm tired as hell. I'm dying. Seemingly we're right near the end of the game of Cult of the Lamb. We have to seemingly, I would assume, do one more boss. And Woolhaven, from what I have very vaguely looked up, because I didn't want spoilers, seemingly what it does is when yesterday at the end of the stream we went and we finished a run, and then we had an option to continue going through this blue door that would normally lead us to the big boss of the area. Seemingly that's Woolhaven content, so we're like at the end game without like we're into the DLC stuff without actually doing the DLC stuff, if that makes sense. So I don't know, it feels like we're very close to the end. But I need 20 followers to actually do the end. So we gotta mess around with all that stuff. What else is happening? I gotta think of our next game that we're gonna play. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, about like all the games I have in mind and stuff. But I gotta pick one, and it's scary. It's scary. I'm afraid to commit to something because I don't know if it's gonna be fun or if it's gonna be dumb. I'm all worried. The top free games on Xbox, Fortnite. I saw that they just did a crossover with HSR. It ain't scary, you're just indecisive. I am indecisive, and it's scary because I'm indecisive. I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know what to do. What do I even do? What do I even play? You should definitely become a Fortnite streamer. Absolutely, yeah. That's the kind of game I really excel at. Competitive third-person shooters. Like competitive third-person VR shooters. I'm really good at that. Especially the build modes where you shoot at someone and they build a skyscraper in like a third of a second. Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm really, 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 really talented in those kind of games. Storms of bullets coming at me, I can deal with that easily. Just the same way that I deal with it in the Cult of the Lamb, where Calamar was the hardest boss in the whole game. I have a Fortnite account. Just play no build? You're right. I'll just play no build. And then still lose to someone who's like 10 years old, because they're way better than me. You have those laser fast reflexes. You're right, I do. I do. It's why I play all my games on the hardest difficulty, no matter what it is. It's why the Call of Duty Modern Warfare video was played on, what's the hardest difficulty in that game? Veteran? Realistic? I don't know. That's why I played it on definitely that, and not hardened and or normal. But no, there's a certain type of person that plays competitive games on stream, like competitive shooters and stuff, and those people are like really good at it, and they're really good at doing commentary while they're playing and stuff. I get too focused when I'm playing games like that. Like I'm too like laser focused into what I'm doing because I'm so bad. I have to like keep up with everybody else. It's not like I'm playing and like we're all playing on an even skill level. I'm like, I gotta focus. I can't. No talking. Also, the music in those kind of games tends to get really, like repetitive and boring, and I can't listen to it for a long time. Like, that's what I mean. Like, if I played Marvel Rivals, the music would just piss me off at some point. I would just be like, shut up. And hearing Deadpool speak in any way makes me want to die. And most of the character intros, you're like, oh, are you playing Magneto and, I don't know, Magneto and Scarlet Witch? They're gonna have the same conversation every fucking match. And it's like, oh my god. Shut up. Shut up. Galacta starts annoying me after a while. Galacta annoys me very fast. Her little chibi artworks, her little like sprays and stuff, super cute. Her as a character in the game, annoying as fuck. So annoying. I like the idea of having like, oh, you have these two characters together. Here's their little quippy dialogue. I like that, the idea of that. But if you don't write like hundreds of lines per pairing of people, it gets so boring and so annoying. Hearing them say the same things over and 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 over again. And these are games you're supposed to play for like hours and hours and hours. So like, fuck, hearing the same voice lines over and over just makes me want to die. This is why they barely talk in League. Yeah, I mean, yes. And then occasionally it's like, oh, the enemy team is a Kale and you have a Morgana. Let's have them say something about each other. Oh, okay, cool. This once out of 50 million games that you've played, this is a pairing that's happened in your game, and they're gonna say this thing to each other. Not every fucking game. Oh, did you bring Gambit and Rogue? They're gonna have a conversation about how they're so in love and blah, blah, blah. No, shut up. Shut up. Can't stand it. Imagine every time we loaded up Call to the Lamb, we did the entire tutorial with Ratau again. Every single time we loaded the game up. No. Oh. It's Rogue and Gambit complaining, oh, wasn't what I was expecting for our honeymoon. Or Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. Oh, when are you gonna take me on a real date, Reed? Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Or fucking Penis Parker and Spider-Man having their stupid conversation. Or literally anybody talking to Luna Snow. God. Don't you just hate white uniforms? Hate it. Just shut up. I'm not here to hurt people. I'm here to heal them. Well, after I'm done, you're gonna have plenty of people to heal. Shut up, Moon Knight. Shut the hell up, Cloak and Dagger. God, shut up. I've played the game for what? Where's Marvel Rivals? I've played Marvel Rivals for 120 hours, and I've heard every single voice line enough that I remember most of them. Fucking, you're playing Emma Frost, and fucking, Jeff dies. No, my baby. Shut up. I hope that little shark dies. Thor and Moon Knight having a stupid conversation with the Egyptian gods, and Thor's like, haha, I like that one. She's great. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. This is why I can't. I just can't do it. We are Cloak and Dagger. Just like... I don't want it. I don't want to hear it. And then all of the alt sounds, I get it that the alt sounds are the same so that you know who's doing it from which team. But oh my god. When you have a fucking healer alting like 8 times in one game. Shut up. Like, holy shit. Have different lines, please. Fear, Magneto! Just like, please stop. And I never had this problem with Overwatch. In the whole time I played Overwatch, I never had that problem where I was like, the voice lines are fucking annoying the shit out of me. Never. I always felt like that, like, it wasn't like, I heard every fucking voice line no matter where it was in the entire universe. There's only 2 alt animations I think I even remember what they say. And that's Reaper, because he sounds like an idiot. And Reinhardt. I only know the hammer down and die, 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 die. The only thing I had a problem with is my ultimate is ready every 2 seconds. Yeah, but that happens like every game. It's like every fucking game. People are like, oh, my ultimate's ready. I'll press the button to let everybody know. In League of Legends, it's just a ping. In Overwatch, they say it. In Marvel Rivals, you ping it, and then they say it. In Deadlock, you ping it, and they say it. Singularity's almost ready. I don't know. No one pings in Deadlick, though? Bruh. Got something on your mind? Having some ice cream over there? People ping in Deadlock. You and I played Deadlock last night and somebody pinged their ultimate like 5 times. I don't know. Competitive shooters are kind of losing me. Just because, like, it's so annoying. I don't like playing against someone and then just, like, I don't know. I feel like there are enough competitive shooters where it's less about skill on your personal part and more about skill of your team as a whole. And it's more so the blame can be like shifted around so the game feels more okay. But like, I want it to be based on you as a player, not the whole everybody. And like, people will be like, well, just play Valorant or like CS and it'll be like that. Yeah, but it's not really. When you move with a gun in your hand and then you have to full stop so you can aim, I don't like that. I don't like that snap kind of weird reaction and then like, no. And then there's like specific bullet paths that every gun does and you have to like learn them so you can be good. Like, it's just stupid. Recoil patterns shouldn't be like the same. In my opinion. Unofficial one-man raid from What a Geek. Thanks. I don't know. Competitive shooters are just losing me. They're becoming. It's to the point where I just feel like so many of them are unbalanced in such crazy ways, and like people like they're not unbalanced. It's this and that and this and that and this and that. It's like no, they're just unbalanced, and you're trying to fight for it because it's the only thing we have. Like, Overwatch was never balanced, right? Overwatch has never been fair. Siege is weirdly a really balanced shooter. But at the same time, then you go into games, and sometimes you have people, like, first of all, you have games where you play with cheaters, and that's so annoying. And then other times you get into a game, and someone's punched a tiny hole in a wall and fucking kills you from like a mile away. Or you have to commit to a meta, the less balanced I'd say it is. Yeah, but even then, like, when you look at like. When you look at a game, I use Marvel Rivals as an example. When you look at a game like Marvel Rivals and you're like, okay, this is imbalanced because what? What's wrong? What's making this unbalanced? Well, the thing that makes it unbalanced is that certain characters are literally just better than other characters. Right? Then there's Fortnite. Fortnite is a disaster. The triple healer meta, the fact that it is a meta thing, the fact that having triple healer means that you can bring like Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger, and Mantis, whereas you couldn't bring like Cloak and Dagger and Mantis because that's not enough healing in a normal game, makes triple healer too strong. It's the same way that Overwatch had like the fucking Omega tank meta where you just bring 3 tanks and just destroy people. It just... It feels bad. And as a player, I play tank mostly in Marvel Rivals, so playing a tank feels bad in the game because you have a lot of options for defense, but if your healers are bad, then your whole team falls apart. If your DPS aren't doing enough damage, your whole team falls apart. If you're the tank doing all the work and your other tank sucks, you fall apart. The dive comp BS from free roll queue Overwatch. I mean, yes. It just, all of it, it makes, I want to have a game. I want to have a competitive game like that I can play, and Deadlock has been that game recently, because Deadlock feels, I mean, I can tell it's unbalanced, but it doesn't feel as awful to play. And there are certain games that you play where you get like steamrolled, like you get like rolled over by the enemy team. They come in, they're just like blat blat blat, you die, and you're like, how the fuck did that happen? And there are times where you steamroll the enemy team, but then there's games that go and they're like super even, And there's like this weird, like you just said, that there's a weird level of like skill expression when you get to understand a character where you do a cool play and you're like, that was actually fucking awesome. Like we just made like a really cool play happen. Like I've had plays where I've been playing Ivy, and Ivy's ultimate is you can either grab a little bomb and fly up in the air yourself, or you can grab a teammate and fly up in the air. I've had cool plays where I've been playing with like an Apollo. They'll dive, grab a kill, be so in the backline of the enemy they can't get out, and I'll go in, grab them, and we'll both fly away. It feels amazing, and then you both get out and you're both like totally good. It feels awesome to do. Or like you use Ivy and you're in one lane, you need to get to another, you use your ultimate to fly to the other lane and start the fight with your bomb. It feels really good to have that kind of expression, whereas like it just doesn't feel good to play. Like Marvel Rivals to me doesn't feel good to play, because if one person on your team isn't performing at the level that everyone else in the game is performing at, you lose. And especially in a casual, like a quick match, you shouldn't have to be at the maximum of your skill level all the time. Like, and this is the thing that's happened with shooters, like, in general, in the past, like, 10, 15 years or whatever, where, like, in old Call of Duty lobbies, right, you could play in, like, every lobby of your entire session of gaming and just stomp everybody and just, like, fucking ruin an entire day for these group of people, right? Nowadays, if you do too well in a Call of Duty lobby, you get put into a matchmaking system. Your skill-based matchmaking will throw you in a game with people who are, quote, of your skill level, but they just kind of over-adjust and throw you into matches where people are like literally sitting there, sweating their life away, killing people in Call of Duty. And you just get, like, ruined. Like, you play one good game, and then you get ruined for the rest of the day. And you're like, oh, okay. Alright, I guess. There's not, like, the even... There never seems to be, like, an even match at all. That's what I mean. They gotta get the KD. And, like... The thing with Marvel Rivals is it feels like you play with sweaty people all the time, and the movement, this is something I hate about shooters, right? This is something I despise about shooters in general, okay? When I was younger, okay, you play a shooter, you play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, or Call of Duty MW2, or Halo, or whatever, and your movement is that you can run, and that you can shoot, and you can crouch, and you can prone. That's all the movement you have. You don't got, like, fucking zip around the universe shit. The most movement I played in any shooter was in Overwatch, and that was, like, the movement in that game was crazy movement. People are flying and using fucking grappling hooks and shit, okay? Now you got Call of Duty with the omnidirectional movement. You can fucking flip around, do 360 fucking all over the place, shoot, fly off the wall and shit, whatever the fuck that they're doing. Which is already crazy, already way too much shit to do. And then you have fucking Marvel Rivals, and they're like, have fun with this. Fucking Iron Man can fly around, has a fucking booster. Storm flies around. You got Spider-Man zipping around the whole universe in the back line. Apparently Iron Fist, for some reason, can fly. It's just like... What? What? What are we doing? I would have taken the movement from Titanfall as, like, probably the farthest you can take movement. The running on the walls, jumping, to sliding, and that kind of shit. That would have been the farthest it could have gone, I think. But I can't even... Like, I keep up sort of in Marvel Rivals, right? Like, I pay attention and I can see people going everywhere. But it's not like I'm shooting a Spider-Man while he's fucking going Mach 7 across the map, zipping and swinging and shit. Like, yeah, just keep your reticle on them. Oh, and your bullets aren't hit scanned. They're projectiles. So you have to predict where Spider-Man's going at like Mach 7 across the map from you. And you're like, man, what the fuck? What do you mean? I gotta predict where he's going? What the fuck? Also, I like that they try to use superheroes to make a competitive shooter, right? You're like, let's make a competitive shooter with superheroes. Some of the first people we're going to have in the game that will definitely make sense are going to be Iron Man. Stay with me. We got Iron Man, Wolverine, and one of the tanks we're going to put in this game. One of the tanks we're going to put in this game is going to be Magneto. And you're telling me that as Magneto, I could lose to Wolverine, Iron Man, ever. As Magneto. Magneto's entire power is that he controls metal. And I'm gonna lose to Iron Man, Wolverine. This is just the first characters, because then we got Ultron. Then we got skins that make people metal. That's what I mean. You should have advantages playing certain people against other people. Oh, are you playing Magneto and Iron Man? You just have a button where you crush him and he instantly dies. Oh, did Iron Man jump at you? You just like force pause him in the air. Boop, you're paused. And then you rip his skeleton out. Like, when is Magneto losing to those people? Doctor Strange is like, oh my god, I have the time stone. What do I do? Oh yeah, we lost the round. I'll just reverse time. No, we didn't. The exosuit movement people generally adjust to slide canceling and shit are just bugs. I never removed it because it just become a crutch. The thing is, it's like, what do you do if they add Professor Xavier? What do you do? What, can I, like, reach into someone's mind and fuck them up completely? Technically, Phoenix should be able to do that right now. Emma Frost should be able to do the same thing. The only person that shouldn't work on is literally Magneto. Deadpool should be the strongest character in the game because he can break the fourth wall. Literally, he could just cheat. Like, how do we... And I get it, they're like, we need to keep it in the confines of a video game so it can be fair and blah, 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 right? It's gotta be fair. It's like, well, bitch, it's not fair now. And they've got, like, so... They sort of have a formula for how they make characters, right? She-Hulk is not in Marvel Rivals, not yet. She'd probably end up being a fucking DPS or some shit. They have this weird formula they have for making characters in the game. Where, like, tanks... When they first let the game out, tanks were simple, right? They had, like, a few buttons, but mostly they were defensive. And they didn't really do a lot, right? DPS had a lot of buttons, did a lot of things, had a lot of like weird movement and shit that they could do. And then healers had like weird utility buttons, maybe a movement button, but a lot of healing buttons. Now we've got tanks like Deadpool and Rogue who have a lot of buttons like a DPS, but they're tanks. And then we have Deadpool, who is a tank, a fucking DPS, and a healer. And his kit really doesn't change that much between them. Like, they had a formula and then they broke it, which is fine. You can break a formula you have, but then, like, Rogue doesn't play like a tank. Rogue plays like an over-aggressive, high-health DPS. And they make up for it by giving you, like, on your stat screen, the damage blocked stat. Damage blocked on tanks is literally how much damage you took during the match over your teammates taking that damage. That's all it is. Well, supposedly she's capable of breaking the fourth wall. She-Hulk's capable of breaking the fourth wall as much as Deadpool, but there's all the hatred for the character of the Disney Plus show. Yeah, I mean, she is. She has the fourth wall breaking ability, but there is the hate from the show. I'm not expecting She-Hulk to come anytime soon. It seems like they're trying to delve into more like niche little things. I mean, they brought in Elsa Bloodstone, who is a character who's a very like nothing comic book character. I don't know why out of everybody that's who they brought in. But of course they add another DPS because it's not like we had like 20 million of those. We definitely needed more DPS roles. At the rate they're also releasing characters too, I don't think that the game's gonna be as, to me, it's not sustainable. It's gonna feel very much like League, where there's so many. Which is flipping out for me. It's trying to give me an ad, but it's also playing your stream. That is very strange. Twitch is very strange. Just... I would try to help, but it's Twitch. They're doing their own thing. I don't know. Marvel Rivals just isn't... A lot of the friends that I have play it, and they love it, and they think it's great. And they're like, oh my god, Marvel Rivals, so fun. We should play it right now. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to play it. It just doesn't... It's not something I can even casually play. Hiya. I just don't... I don't have fun playing Marvel Rivals. And I don't know if it's a me problem, which it probably is, but it feels like Marvel Rivals just isn't... It feels like they want it to be a relaxing, enjoyable experience, but then at the same time, it just isn't. They're in the niche of trying to capture what Overwatch was when Overwatch came out. The first Overwatch, not Overwatch 2, which is now just called Overwatch. And they're just not doing it for me. They don't have that drop in and play kind of feel. Marvel Rivals feels like it's too competitive, but then like... Time to kill is my biggest problem, I think. I don't want to sit in a gunfight. I guess it's a gunfight. No, a lot of people don't have guns. I don't want to sit in a fight with somebody. I don't want to sit in a fight with somebody where you like shoot at someone or attack someone for like for like 40 seconds and then neither of you die in that whole time. It doesn't feel good. It feels really bad when you shoot at somebody for that long and then you both just live out of it and you walk away and you're like, ah. Like, for me, the longest time to kill that I'm, like, okay with is Halo. And Halo's time to kill is, like, kind of shortish, I guess. I don't like shooting at someone forever. I don't want to unload a whole mag, reload, unload a whole mag, reload, unload a whole mag, and then be like, okay, he got away. It doesn't feel good. It feels really, really bad. TO2 casually outliving Overwatch twice. I would like to say the same thing, but Team Fortress is alive. It's alive the same way that, like Halo is alive. From what I've seen about Rivals, it looks like alting is the only way to get to consistently get kills. It kind of is. It depends on who you're playing. And it depends on who the healers in the enemy team are. Healers seem to get their ultimates so fast, and healer ultimates swing the game. If you have good healers and they have good ultimates, you win. If you have healers who have bad ultimates, you lose. DPS ultimates are good. They're great. Some of them are fantastic. But you don't get them as fast, and at the same time, they can just easily miss, right? So a lot of them are big rings, stay out of big ring. Like Moon Knight's ultimate, fantastic. If you can get everybody to be in it for the entire amount of damage that's going to come out, fantastic. If you have a Psylocke who's really good, who can get her ultimate off, that's great. That's fantastic as long as people stay in the giant ring. Namor, that's a great ultimate if you can get people to stay inside of it while it crashes down and hits everybody. It is, to me, so, like, I feel like the healing in Rivals just needs to be toned down. It just needs to be toned down. They need to calm the fuck down. I think if all of the healers did the kind of healing that, like, Loki, Mantis, fucking Adam Warlock, if they did that kind of healing, that would be fine. It's crazy that Marvel Rivals has Old Mercy ult in it, and the character is considered to be garbage. Adam Warlock has a full team res that works even if the teammate's not dead yet. Okay? And it's not considered OP. He is considered to be garbage. His ultimate is a full team res whenever they die. You died right now? Good, you're getting res right now. You died 3 seconds later? You're resing right now. Like, crazy. To me, hero shooter genre is turning into League of Legends. It kind of is. And, like, it's not all of them. I'm glad I didn't get into Rivals. Adam Warlock's not even good. Nobody plays it. Nobody ever plays Adam Warlock because he's terrible at healing. You just play Invisible Woman. You play Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger, Rocket, Jeff, And that's basic. Loki sometimes, that's kind of all the ones that you ever see. But there's Mantis, Adam Warlock, there is Ultron. But you only ever see specific ones. And if you're playing ranked, you see even less of them. Gambit, you see Gambit all the time. And why is Deadpool a tank anyway? Deadpool is every role. Deadpool is every role. Deadpool is every role, and I think he is bad in every role. Me personally. I don't think he's good in every role. I think he's bad in every role, and I wish they never added him to the game. I think Rogue was a bad addition to tanks. I understand why she's a tank. Her kit doesn't work as a tank. She works as a DPS. And I get it, adding more DPS is bad. I probably would have ended up playing Penny Parker if I continue playing Rivals. Penny is great, but she struggles on push maps. If you're playing offense on a push-pull map, if you're pushing, you struggle a lot because she doesn't have the... She has a hold the line kind of potential, not a push kind of potential. So on the defensive part of it, you'd be great. Like the tanks that are good, Emma's good, Emma's really good, Rogue is really good, Doctor Strange is really good, Magneto's really good. Groot is exceptional, especially played by a really good player. But like, I don't know. I would prefer, and I struggle with the friend slop kind of games because there's certain ones that I really enjoy and there's certain ones that I don't. There's ones that I really enjoy that other people don't like, and there's certain ones that everybody likes and I'm like, Like, Peak is fun. I think Peak is fun, but you can only play Peak like once a day because there's only one mountain every day. So I think Peak is like you go in, you try to climb the mountain the one time, and then if you fail, it's over, right? And people are like, oh, but you could do it till you get to the top. It's like, yeah, but then the section that I've already finished, I have to redo, and I don't want to redo an entire section that took us 20 minutes again. Right? Repo, I think, is fine. I don't super like Repo. I think it's fine. I don't think it's that fun. Because I find it's just a lot of nothing happening and then putting the money away until you can leave. And maybe one cool thing happens between like a full playthrough of it. I love Lethal Company. A lot of people don't anymore. For some reason, that fell off really hard. Nobody seems to like it anymore because they're like, but Repo's just Lethal Company, but better. And I'm like, it's not really, but sure. The point of Lethal Company is that it's supposed to be kind of funny, but also scary. And I kind of liked it. I like the creatures better, and I like that they're more of a threat in Lethal Company than they are in Repo. And then, like, I haven't played a lot of other friend slop games, but, like, I guess Phasmophobia is one of them, and I fucking hate that game. I hate Phasmophobia. That game is boring as shit. Whoever made that game, congratulations, you have made a game that is actually just sucks ass, and everybody seems to love it. It sucks ass, and everybody seems to like it for no reason. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like it. It's not good. Oh, what are you doing, Phasmophobia? You fucking take this random bunch of shit into a house, leave it on the floor, and then wander around saying, hey, are you there? Hi, are you here? What's your name? Hi, are you here? And then someone goes, oh my god. Oh my god. The cross burned. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then fucking like 20 minutes later, you leave and you go, guys, what do you think it was? And then they're like, well, we had cold temperatures and this, and I think it's this, and then you leave. Like, fucking stab me in my face instead, please. Like, holy shit. We spent 20 minutes walking around a normal-ass house. Please stop. Stop making this shit. Fuck. It's so boring. Then it's like, oh no, it's hunting. Oh, it killed you. And you're like, oh no. I don't have to play anymore? Oh, no. Ah, damn. A lot of friend stuff feels like it depends on big reactions for streamers, YouTubers. But it's, to me, it doesn't, right? I didn't watch like anything on Peak before I played it with friends. And I like Peak. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun time to just like run around and climb the mountain once a day. Not a replay the same mountain Peak person. Fuck. But like, I like Repo for the fact, I like Repo and Lethal Company for the fact that when you go to play a place, right, it changes every time you go. I feel like Repo changes less, but it changes every time you do it. I prefer the systems in Lethal Company where you're not like buying upgrades in between levels, where you're just like buying equipment and you could actually just fully lose the equipment. But I enjoy those systems more than Peak and then Lethal, and then not Peak. Then I like it more than Peak, and I like it more than Phasmophobia, because I think Phasmophobia is just a bad game. But like, there's so many games you can play with friends that like, I don't know, people seem to just not enjoy anymore, I guess. People want to play the big hero shooter, or they want to play the newest friend slot this thing. That one, the content warning, that game looked funny. Where you go down into the thing to make a video to get YouTube views. Or not YouTube, but like their fake little YouTube views. And you watch your video at the end of the day with all your friends about you guys fucking being dumb in the underground or whatever. That looked funny. But I don't know. I struggle with friend slop stuff, and I struggle with hero shooters nowadays because they're so unbalanced. Like, I could stream them with random, like with friends and stuff. If we were like streaming it to you guys or whatever, I could have fun with that. Probably still end up getting mad about playing fucking Marvel Rivals because I hate that game, but I understand the mass appeal. Marvel's a big IP. A lot of people like it right now. But it's unbalanced, and I think it's just unfun. I'm getting more into, right now, single player and cooperative PvE kind of games are more my thing right now. Us playing Cult of the Lamb has like opened my eyes a bit. Playing Titanfall opened my eyes a bit to that. I like the just, there's a game and the game is fun. Even if it's unfair where I'm overpowered against the enemies we're playing against, I'm okay with that because the game itself is being fun. Right? It's not about, I'll use an example that most people can relate with. Or sort of relate with. When you were young, when you were little itty bitty, playing Pokemon, whatever your first Pokemon was, right? As long as you're playing Pokemon, right? You're playing your thing, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick my starter. I picked the water starter, you know? I picked Squirtle, or Totodile, or Mudkip, or whatever the fuck you pick, right? Whichever gen you played, whichever one you picked. You pick that one, and then as you make your way through your journey, you catch the Pokemon that you think are cool, because you like them. You enjoy your team, and you play it. It's not about, when you're young, it's not about going on the internet and looking up what the best Pokemon team is to beat people online, right? You're training a team, and you're not like Eevee and Ivy training and shit. You're a kid. You're playing Pokemon. So you're you're going online and you're not going online. You're playing your game and you're just catching the Pokemon you think are cool. You're like, damn, my team, I got fucking Umbreon and I've got you know, fucking or like you're like me. You're like, I've got Glaceon and fucking Blastoise and you know, shit like that. Like, you just have, like, whatever the fuck you enjoy. Like, fuck Arcanine, Alolan Ninetales. And they're like, that's unbalanced. Why do you have 2 ice types? Ice types are fairly weak. They're squishy, die really fast. I'm like, I don't care because I like the Pokemon. Right? It's not about being the best of everyone ever. It's not a competition. It's not a competition. It is literally you versus the game. And I say this now, right? And I use Pokemon as an example because I know people who played Pokemon ZA specifically to catch. They caught all the Pokemon, but they specifically went to catch Pokemon that would be really good at battling other people online. Like, can we just... That's how we're playing Pokemon in 2025, 2026. We're playing Pokemon to be better than other people online. Really? It's like how I will always have this. I think I will to my grave always have the same, like, my Mario Kart, my favorite Mario Kart ever will always be the same one. Mario Kart Double Dash is my favorite Mario Kart. Because I think Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart World are 2, like, do you know the meta of what to pick? In Mario Kart 8, did you build your kart right? Do you have the special wheels that you need? Are you not using a motorcycle in Mario Kart Wii? Ew. Like, fucking shut up. I just pick the people I like and I play the racing kart game. Fuck off. Oh, did you not sandbag at the start of the race that you could get a bullet bill so you could do the bullet bill skip? No, I didn't. I just play the fucking racing game. Part of why I like forcing myself to try new Pokemon nowadays. I already know that I like Roserade, but my feelings on Cherim are still undecided. I only played ZA because of the fact that I saw that the combat was so different from Pokemon, and I think that old... This might be a hot take for some people here and some people in general. I think that old JRPG combat of stand there, pick your move, and then enemies stand there, fucking take your attack, and then you go in and beat them up, and then you stand there and wait for them to beat you up. I think that kind of combat in video games needs to change. I don't think that every game needs to be an action RPG or whatever. I just think that there needs to be more involvement than press button and then have your ass beat by the boss. It's why I don't like Pokemon. It's why I don't like the old Pokemons that much, is because I think that pick Fire Blast and then stand there and have the other Pokemon beat my ass isn't fun. And I've known that for a long time in my life, that I didn't like that. When I played Final Fantasy 13 and your characters just wander around the battlefield and then sometimes get hit by attacks and sometimes don't, it pissed me off and I thought it was stupid. I think that dodging as a chance is stupid. I don't like turn-based combat because of the fact that it feels so uninvolved. And I think that There are games that have done stuff to change how that works in good ways. And I get that some people really enjoy it, so it's fine that it stays, but I will never enjoy it. It's one of the reasons I don't really play Persona. It's one of the reasons that we started playing Persona and I never finished it. I have started playing two different Persona games and I've never finished them. Because the best parts of those games is, like, for me, is not the fucking dungeon stuff. The combat in the game feels bad. It feels awful to me. It's super stylized. The music's fantastic and everything. And the environments and stuff are cool. Oh my god, the combat makes me want to die, though. I'm just like, please, fucking... just kill me now. And then the overworld stuff where you're like, I'm gonna do my homework and go to school and hang out with friends and go play darts or go play, like, go into the batting cage or whatever, is the funnest time I have in those games. Fuck, when we were playing Persona 3, one of my favorite things to do was to go to work at the coffee shop. That was one of my favorite things that we were doing. Because the actual in-dungeon stuff, I was like, please don't make me fight enemies. Please don't make me fight enemies. Please don't make me fight enemies. Because the combat's so uninvolved. People will say, like, oh, it's so in-depth because you have to pick your things and do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's not, because I just go in there and I either know the enemy's weakness or I don't, and I just stand there just spamming. Like in Pokemon, oh, is this a grass type gym? Goes in with a fire type, uses fucking Ember, wins the whole fucking thing, leaves. It just, nah. I can't do it. And I have a lot of turn-based strategy games, like turn-based, like JRPG style games that I own, and I just can't do it. I cannot do it. When I was young, I couldn't do it either. It's why, like, my favorite, like, JRPG was an action JRPG, and that was the Tales of series. Loved those games, but they're not turn-based. It's all about you playing the game. And I was so in. This is why, like, I'll say to people that I'll play, like, basically anything, but I really won't. There's certain games that I just can't. There's certain games that I just can't play. I can't do it. Visual novels, that's a big series of games that I can't play. Turn-based JRPGs, can't do it. I literally made a goal for using the Persona Alice simply because the first skill she learned was called Die For Me. Did you ever play the Shenmue series? No. Shenmue looks bad. Everything I've ever seen of Shenmue is that it looks bad, and people are like, that's the good part of it. And I'm like, why? Why is it that when games are bad nowadays, everyone's like, don't play that shit, ew, gross, but then Shenmue is bad and people are like, play Shenmue! What? Why we got double standards, but only about Shenmue? Also, I heard a quote that was supposed to be a good thing, but is definitely not a good thing. Todd Howard, this was back when Starfield hadn't come out, and Todd Howard had said, Starfield is very much a Bethesda RPG. And I thought about the statement to myself for a second, and I was like, are people gonna take that as a good thing? Is that gonna be a good thing for people? That it's a very much a Bethesda RPG. Is that actually a good statement? Is that something that people are going to be like, yes, please. I would like a Bethesda RPG. Because you realize that means that it's going to be, you know, like, people looking at you all weird. Fucking stop right there, criminal scum. The woman reading her line and then going, no, let me do that again. And then reading the same line again in one piece of dialogue. That's the kind of Bethesda RPG that we're getting. Nowadays, no. We've seen Bethesda prioritizing over progress. Yeah, but it can't be nowadays because this is Bethesda has been making the same RPG since what? Bethesda has made the same RPG every time they've made an RPG since 2006, okay? We're not including Morrowind, because that one's slightly different. There's like a slight difference there. They have made the same RPG since 2006, okay? Oblivion releases, okay? RPG is like kind of good. People like it. And then they're like, here's Fallout 3. It's like the same shit, okay? It was like the same game, but in Apocalypse. And then they're like, here's Fallout New Vegas. This is from a slightly different company. The writing is a little bit better, but all the jank is still there. Then they're like, here's Skyrim. And you're like, okay, what's different about Skyrim? And they're like, this is like Oblivion. This is like Oblivion. And you're like, okay, but what's different? And they're like, it's newer. And they're like, does that mean that there's like upgrades and stuff? Like, is it better? And they're like, no, it's like the same. It came out, you know, 5 years later, but it's like the same game. The graphics are a bit better. And we have less famous people voice acting people. You're like, okay, understood. Is the gameplay better? And they're like, well, you can dual wield now. And you're like, yeah, but did that make the combat better? And they're like, no. And you're like, well, then what the fuck was the point? Why if I have a sword and shield, can I also cast a spell like I used to be able to? No. You have to have a spell equipped to one of your hands. What do you mean? What? So you're adding dual wielding, but taking away me casting spells when I have a shield now? And then you get Fallout 4, and they're like, okay, here's a new one. The graphics are much better now. Okay, the game looks much better, and you're like, okay, are there any new added features? And they're like, the storyline is now more forced on you than ever. And your character's voiced, and you're like, okay, do I still get all the choices to make, like, independent choices to do whatever, really, like, sort of, kind of, whatever I want? And they're like, no. And they're like, are there less NPCs that are immune to dying because they're important for quests? And like, no. There's actually more people that you can't kill because you need them for quests. It's like, okay. Is there anything that's changed that is good? And they're like, well, shooting is better. It's more like New Vegas. And like, is it better than New Vegas, or is it just New Vegas shooting? They're like, well, it's just New Vegas shooting. You're like, okay. Is there anything else new? And they're like, well, power armor will have limited uses now. And we're like, okay, so now we're taking features away again. Like, yeah, but there's base building, which sometimes functions, but will lag your game out if you build too much, so careful. Okay, so we got lagging, forced story, less choices, less killable people. Got it. Okay, then we move forward, and they re-release Skyrim about 60 times, and nothing really gets added except a mod that lets you fish. Okay? And then we move, and we get Fallout 76. And they're like, okay, here's a new game. You're going to be able to play this online with other people. And we're like, oh my god, finally. What a huge improvement. We can finally play a Bethesda RPG online with other people. This is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to do it. You load into the world for the first time, they're like, okay, but the thing is, right, is you're coming from a vault that has been opened specifically because that was the experiment, is that they were going to open it after a certain amount of time. But everyone from your vault except for you is dead, and they're gone. And in the area of the world you're in, there's also no other people anywhere. So to make it so you could play online with other people, we just took out all of the NPCs out of the entire game. We're like, okay, so we went from being able to kill NPCs to not being able to kill a bunch of important NPCs to just not having any NPCs. How do we get quests? Oh, well, data logs and stuff will give you quests to do to go into specific places and do specific things. You're like, wait, but what the fuck? Okay, but can I really just do the game in whatever order I want? Like, if I wanted to skip to the end of the story, could I just, like, skip to the end and finish it whenever I want, like the other games? Well, no, because your gear isn't a good enough level. And I'm like, so, like, wait, so this is like an MMO? I gotta, like, have leveled gear and do, like, dungeons and stuff? They're like, no, not really like an MMO, because the server you're on might just not have anybody on it. So sometimes you'll just be playing Fallout 76 with no NPCs and no other playable characters, so you'll literally just be in the world by yourself. But the radio's better, and you're like, okay, but there's no people, and there's no, like, real quests that are proper to do. Like, well, you know. And then later they add stuff to make it, like, you know, quote, better. But it's really just the same shit, but there's, like, stand there NPCs that do fuck all. And then you're like, okay, I'm so worn out. Bethesda, you haven't made a game that's, like, worth a shit for years. And they're like, okay, we're Bethesda. We've been making Elder Scrolls and Fallout content for years. Look we've got this new IP coming out. It's called Starfield. It's in space. It's going to be a space RPG. Really cool. A lot of stuff to do. You got, like, a ship, you can fly around. Everyone's like, oh my god, that's gonna be so fucking cool. And what you hear from Todd Howard is, this is gonna be a Bethesda RPG. And you look back from Oblivion onwards and see what a Bethesda RPG has been for years, okay? This is 2006, and you're like, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's a good thing. And then if you go to play it, you realize, yeah, it's a Bethesda RPG, but it also isn't. You can get on your ship, which becomes fast travel around the planet you're on, or you can get on your ship and it will fast travel you into space where you can fly around. And then running around, sure, you can kill random NPCs and stuff, but it just, the hearing the two things about the game, two quotes. One, it's a Bethesda RPG. Awful. And then the character models look great under the correct lighting. The character models look great under the correct lighting. What are we? What is this, a gym bro? This dude looks jacked if he's under a specific light and the shadows all hit his muscles properly. Great, congratulations, you look good under this one light. What about every day? Like, you probably look great every day if you're jacked or whatever, but like character models. And then I saw another thing where people are always comparing it, because like there's a bunch of screenshots, because if you crouch, people's like heads won't turn down to look at you, their eyes just a second look down at you. So now you gotta stand up and they have to be under the correct light. Are we kidding ourselves? Starfield could have been cool. I've never played it, but Starfield could have been like huge. It could have been like a big game for them, but they made it a Bethesda RPG and it ruined it. And Outer Worlds is better. Outer Worlds is better, but it has the problem of I know people aren't going to agree with me on the fact that I don't like it, but it has the problem of it has the Borderlands effect. The game is cool. It has a cool aesthetic or whatever, but everything in the game has to be a joke. And I just don't. It doesn't have to be. Not everything has to be like, no, it doesn't always have. Great games can be funny and not always have to be a joke. They can be good. I think Claptrap is one of the worst characters in video game history. I hate Claptrap. He's not funny. It's not a funny character. He's annoying and needs to shut up and go away forever. Not everything in every game has to be a joke. Some games are funny and they're not even supposed to be funny. Like, Metal Gear Solid has this great balance where it's hilarious, but it's also really serious. And I'm not saying every game needs to be that, but holy shit, it doesn't have to be everything. It reminds me of like the what was the game? What was it called? Ugh, there's a game that had like terrible voice acting in it, and it was like, it's like new, and everybody uses it as like the modern woke gaming. Like, it doesn't need to be funny. Not Concord. Not Concord. No, it was a game where you play as like, it's like a female protagonist, and she's like, Rogue Warrior's funny, but that's stupid. It was one of the games like Avowed or something. I know Avowed is stupid and is basically a Bethesda RPG made by someone else. No, not Redfall. No. What was it called? You play as a girl who gets like isekai'd, and then she becomes like a mage or something. And then she's like, she says stupid shit like, why did we even fight those things? That felt pointless. And you're like, yes, it did. What are we doing? She basically points at how bullshit the game is while you're playing it. I just moved shit with my freaking mind. What is that from? Is that from Star Wars? Is that from the new Star Wars? They fly now? That game, I can't remember the name of it either. Oh, son of a bitch. Fuck, I can't think about Star Wars without remembering all the stupid quotes from the new trilogy. Holy shit, it's so funny. They fly now? They fly now! And somehow, Palpatine has returned. Bitch, what? Forspoken! It's Forspoken. Holy shit. Thank you. Jesus Christ. It just... it's this kind of like new age Marvel humor that are in games that I just fucking, oh my god. Please kill me. I was about to go through Steam trying to find it. I've never even played it. I've just seen clips of it, and I'm like, please never make me play that game. Please. Holy God. But you know what I mean? I feel like games are diving into that Marvel-style humor that's just not funny. It's just annoying. Relooted is also pretty bad. I've never even heard of that. Relooted? I'm gonna look it up. If the store ever loads. Relooted. It's like it's like $20. This looks awful. This looks awful. What the fuck? Oh, can I hit you guys with a hot take? Can I hit you guys with a fucking hot take? I'm gonna probably do it anyway, but I think that hot take incoming. I think that Uncharted and The Last of Us are bad video games. I think that overall, Uncharted and The Last of Us are fucking awful video games. They're so bad. And people will defend them from here to the end of time, right? Oh, but this and that and this, okay? Maybe I value different things in games than other people. And that's totally understandable. I can totally see that. I value a good story in a game. I completely value a good story in a game. Do I think BioShock has a great story? Yes, I think BioShock's story is actually phenomenal. Especially on your first time through. If you've never seen anything on it before and you haven't played BioShock, play BioShock. It has a great story. I think that games can have great stories without faulting their gameplay. And I think that Uncharted and The Last of Us have good stories, but are the shittest games ever. Like, they're just terrible. I don't play games for cinematic masterpieces. I play them to have fun. I will play a game. I will 100% play a game for crazy cinematic moments, okay? Armored Core 6, fantastic fucking video game. Absolutely phenomenal. The worst mission in the game is the most cinematic mission in the game, and it is one of the most cinematic missions I've ever played in my life. I don't know if any of you have played it. There is a mission where you fight a giant mechanical sandworm, okay? You and a group of other people in your mechs are fucking flying around, shooting this thing, trying to like stun it or whatever with this like giant laser harpoon cannon that you have, okay? You're flying around, this thing will fuck you up. It like touches you and you almost die. You're all struggling, you're like, holy shit. And you've got this dude fucking like 8,000 kilometers away with a fucking railgun. This like massive railgun. And when you stun it in the air, he goes, I don't miss. And then this giant bullet flies through the air and smashes through the giant worm thing. Oh my god. It's so fucking cool. It is like the most cinematic shit of all time. It looks amazing. And the whole mission is literally just the cinematic for that. Like, it's just you playing a cinematic moment. But the gameplay in the game is also really good. There are games that have great cinematic moments and are also fantastic games. The Ghost of Tsushima is a phenomenal video game, but is one of the most cinematic video games I've ever played. I haven't even beat it, and it is so cinematic. You walk up to a group of Huns and you fucking draw your katana and go into a stance and you're like ready to fight them, and it cuts to that like fucking cinema view and you're like, holy shit, this is like an old fucking samurai movie and I'm the main character now. Like, it's so cool. My thing is, some games these days always have to have PvP. I'm okay. See, I'm okay with Armored Core's PvP because you don't need to play it. I didn't like that the game tried to balance for the PvP. It's the same way I didn't like that any of the Souls games tried to rebalance their game for PvP, because I thought that was stupid. The way that they ruined Dark Souls 2's faith builds by making it so that they don't do as much because PvP was stupid. I hated that. But Last of Us and Uncharted are like, Uncharted. I don't really know the story, but I've heard that the story is like a masterpiece of like Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider style, fun archaeology sort of treasure hunty kind of story, and it's fun and it's like grand and has this cool stuff with it. That's amazing. And then Last of Us, the first Last of Us I know has a pretty strong story. And The Last of Us 2 I played, and the story is pretty good until you swap roles. But the gameplay is so bad. Xenoblade at least has the I'm an RPG excuse, and some of the line reads still hit hard. I have seen stuff on Xenoblade. I was interested in playing Xenoblade at one point, and I have seen stuff on it since, and I'm like, I don't even know how the series continues. I don't. I honestly have no idea. The voice acting in the games is bad. It's bad. It is bad. I have played a lot of games, but the voice acting in Xenoblade is bad. This is like bad for anime bad. I was blown away when I heard it. And I don't know. I don't know. The stuff I've seen on it, I was interested at one point, and now I'm like, no, thanks. Do you know which Xenoblade you're referring to? That sounds like it might have been 2 or X. If there's 2 options out of a series of games, that's too many. If there's more than one game in the series that's bad voice acting and questionable plot points, that's bad. That's bad. Again, and some of the stuff I saw was fan service stuff. I'm okay. Okay? I am okay with small amounts of fan service. Okay? I'm okay with that. But there's a point where you cross the line. X just has a ton of characters, and 2 is mostly because... Yeah, but even having a shit ton of characters, you can't have shitty voice acting just because you have a ton of characters. That's not an excuse. And even pumping up the anime levels, some anime have fantastic voice acting, and Xenoblade has terrible voice acting, from what I've seen. I started replaying the OG Assassin's Creed series, like Assassin's Creed 1 into 2, Brotherhood and Revelations. I have a hot take about Assassin's Creed 2, but I don't think anyone really will agree with me on that. I think Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations were good for their time, right? I think they were good out of their time because it was the second Assassin's Creed series, and they were learning and growing, and things were getting better. Okay. I think that not entirely story-wise, because the story wasn't the best. But gameplay-wise, the best Assassin's Creed they ever made, gameplay-wise, was Assassin's Creed Unity. And it didn't get the chance that other games got in the future. Like, it was they did a good job with, like, Cyberpunk and stuff, revitalizing it and stuff. But Assassin's Creed Unity has fantastic parkour movement. The combat is fairly unchanged from 2, because 2, 3, and Black Flag basically didn't change combat at all. There's like a couple extra tricks you can do. And there's different weapons that you can have in Unity. That's really the big changer there. The way that they implemented co-op play in the game was kind of cool. The group of you can kind of do a mission together. The idea of the story was okay. I like the idea of he's an assassin and she's a Templar, but he loves her and she loves him, but they can't, but they want to, and he doesn't trust the Order because the Order's being stupid, and then that kind of stuff. I like that. I like the idea of it. I like the setting they chose. French Revolution, France was like a great place for that. The architecturally works for the movement they were going for. But it doesn't. It just doesn't hold up because of the fact that it released in a poor state and nobody went back and revisited it after. And my first playthrough of the game ever was near release, and I did have like 1 or 2 glitches. I think one of them made me fall through the world and I had to restart a mission. But I was okay with that. You know, I was okay with the it had this one bug, because I didn't, at that time in gaming, I was having bugs with like every game I was playing. Like, when did it come out? Assassin's Creed Unity came out like in 2014. It came out 3 years after Skyrim and ran way better, looked fantastic. Also, I feel like Assassin's Creed hasn't had the balls to put that many people on screen at the same time anymore. You know what I mean? The crowds in Unity were massive. And when you move from Unity to the British one, Unity and not Unity, the British one with the 2 of them, Syndicate got rid of the cool parkour aspect for a grappling hook you could use to get around, and there are cars, not really cars, but like stagecoaches everywhere, and there's really wide roads, and everything was built for the faster moving. I get that it was moving into the future of the world where things were moving faster, but it took away from the assassin feel, plus the fact that the Fry kids, the 2 that you play as, Evie feels like she's trying to be an assassin. So I really think you should have just played as her. But then her brother, Jacob, is literally just like a British gangster. Like, he's just a British gangster who also happens to be an assassin. So he has some assassin type movements, but he's more of just like a brawler. And you're like, he doesn't fit the Assassin's Creed archetype. And they're like, okay, well, they're trying to break out of the mold, but it doesn't do it. He just doesn't feel like he's supposed to be in the game. He doesn't feel like he's supposed to be an aspect you play as. I want an Assassin's Creed that finally takes place in the present day. See, I feel like if you have an Assassin's Creed in the present day, especially if it was made by Ubisoft, it would just end up feeling like Watch Dogs 1. That's what I think they would end up doing, is making it like Watch Dogs 1. but there's like a little bit of parkour. And like climbing up modern architecture would be kind of hard. The way they do in Assassin's Creed. So like they would just, a lot of it would be driving, and you have guns, so you probably just shoot people. And they would be like, well, you're an assassin, so you'd probably be pretty tech savvy, so you have the hacking, so they would do Watch Dogs probably style hacking. And like Watch Dogs was the biggest disappointment that I think Ubisoft has ever done. Wouldn't it be close to Mission Impossible? No. Because the Assassins never did Mission Impossible type stuff. In any of the games, you never do Mission Impossible type stuff. You always do... You're always doing, I gotta find this person, get the intel on them, and kill them. Whereas, like, nowadays, in, like, the mod, if they did a present day one, you would just Google the person and try to hack into their stuff to get their information, and then you'd be like, okay, I have all the reasons to kill them. And then you would just go and you'd kill them. You'd either shoot them or snipe them or whatever. If I'm playing Assassin's Creed, I expect stealth to be a core focus. Why do you put a samurai as a playable character in a game called Shadows? Shadows, I think, could have been a fantastic game without him. I understand. I get the idea of why they put him in. And people say, like, well, it's not historically accurate. Motherfucker, when has Assassin's Creed ever been historically accurate? To the point. When? When has it ever been? No, it was historically accurate during Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah? Da Vinci made fires all over fucking the city and you flew around in a fucking flying machine? And in the second game, he built those fucking tanks for the enemies? Yeah, did that really happen for real? Did an assassin kill the Pope? Who wore a white hood? No. Did the fucking Apple of Eden make clones of people that could control people's minds? No. That didn't happen. Did George Washington become the king of America and kill everybody? No. It didn't happen. Assassin's Creed is historical fiction. So I get them playing with stuff. I don't like when... If they wanted to make a cool samurai game, they could have made a cool samurai game. But if they want to make an Assassin's Creed game, make an Assassin's Creed game. Black Flag as an Assassin's Creed game is a bad game. But Black Flag as a game about pirates could have been a cool game. You see what I'm saying? You make Black Flag. Don't even call it Assassin's Creed. Just call it Black Flag. And then you make it a pirate game. It would have done well. It would have been good. But you don't. And then everybody wants that game to come back, and they finally come out with what game did they make? Did they make Skull and Bones? And that game sucks. Literally, they have the formula to make the pirate game, and they fucked it. They have the formula. It's literally like the 1 + 1 = 2. They got the formula sitting right in front of them. They got all the stuff that they need, and then they were just like, nah. Skull and Bones? You're like, no, what? Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Do the pirate part of that without the Assassin's Creed part. No, like, I don't know how. You have it right there. It's right there. Also, I have to put this out there. Assassin's Creed 1 is overrated to the moon and back. Assassin's Creed 1 is really slow. The combat is really bad. And holy fucking shit. You cannot end a game with, what does it all mean, I wonder? You can't end a game like that. What does it all mean, I wonder? And guess what? You don't even figure out what that shit means until Assassin's Creed 3. And it doesn't even really tell you what that shit means. It just tells you that it's from an ancient race of people that are gone. Like, it doesn't tell you anything. And then they kill Desmond. Like, hey, this is the main character of the series. He's dead now. And you're like, okay, I guess the series is over. Now here's Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You go to play it and you're like, what am I doing at the offices of Ubisoft? What is happening? Why am I here? And they're like, can you sit down and go into the VR Animus to go play as a pirate? And you're like, what? What is happening? And then they give up on that entirely. And they're just like, you just play as the assassins now. The Animus part of it's not important. And they're like, shit, people liked the Animus part of that, and they brought it back in Origins, and they just introduced some new chick who's going into ancient Egypt, and you're like, where did the story go? The game had an underlying story that was a part of the real world that they were going into the past to figure shit out, but now that's just gone. They just said, fuck that, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, fuck that shit, we're not doing that anymore. And then they tried to bring it back, but they didn't do it at all? You're like, where did it go? And then they do Odyssey, and people are like, wait, what the fuck is this? And then Valhalla was like, what if you're just not really an assassin at all, and you're just a Viking? What if you're just a Viking? And you're like, wait. We already stopped being an assassin in Black Flag, we were a pirate? You can't just decide we're gonna be a fucking Viking. Remember when game companies used to make video games that were cool and fun? We've talked about 2 companies in a row that just took their games and fucking threw them in the garbage. You've got Ubisoft, which made fantastic games for years, right? They were just like, hey, here's a great game. And you're like, oh, sick, thanks, right? And then they just go, nah, here's another one. You're like, whoa, that was fast, thanks. Okay, they're doing good. They're making games that are fun. They're fun and happy and whatever. And you're like, oh my god, these games are fucking great. You're having a great time. And then they just throw it off a bridge. And then Naughty Dog are like, hey, here's Crash Bandicoot. And you're like, holy shit, this stuff is fucking awesome. And they're like, guess what? Now it's the PlayStation 2. Bam, Jack and Daxter. And you're like, whoa, that's fucking cool. And you play through those games. You're like, damn, that was fucking cool. And you get to the PS3 and they're like, Uncharted. And you're like, what is that? And they're like, that's a realistic treasure hunting game. And you're like, oh, okay. Are we gonna get Crash and like, are we gonna get like the good Crash games that you made, or like Jack and Daxter back? And they're like, we might be working on a Jack and Daxter project. And then that gets scrapped and they're just like, The Last of Us. And you're like, okay, this is just the treasure hunting game, but it's about a guy and this girl that go on an adventure across America with mushrooms. And then they just like, and then Naughty Dog just goes, what if we just, instead of making new video games, we just re-release Uncharted and The Last of Us forever. No new IPs, we just we already have the games. We don't need to make new ones. We just make them look like they're new. People will buy that. Imagine if we got Metal Gear Solid 5 remastered right now. Think about how pointless that would be. Or Kojima was like, here it is, Death Stranding remake. And you're like, we just got that game. Go away. Just get away from me. Ubisoft started to die when they gave up on Rayman. Ubisoft died when they made, when they started to make, when they finished Assassin's Creed 3, they died. They just died as a company. Like, where's their Wikipedia page? Ubisoft. I don't specifically need Montreal, but Ubisoft games list. I just want all the games they've ever made. Okay. Where's the downfall? Where's the downfall? Where did it happen? Before that, before that, before that. Yep, definitely. Wait, this isn't even all the games they've made. Where the fuck are the rest of them? This isn't in order. This isn't even having a... This has 2 Assassin's Creed games on it. Oh, these are canceled games. Zombie U2. Supposedly Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development? Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna have 100,000 viewers on Twitch tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen. It's crazy. I'm sorry. It's just... Yeah, it's just gonna... There's a problem with making a game and saying it's gonna come out, right? There's a problem with making a game and saying it's gonna come out and then keep saying it's gonna come out and saying it's gonna come out, okay? Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be one of the worst games ever. It's gonna come out, it's gonna be garbage. I already have it, because it's just gonna be a Bethesda RPG. So it's gonna be bad. You can't have a development cycle that goes on for too long. You know what I mean? Like, a bad example, Duke Nukem Forever, like the newest Duke Nukem game that had come out, was in development for what, 10, 15 years or something? Don't you mean Skyrim 6? No. We have I think we have Skyrim 6, actually. Don't we have Skyrim 6? Hasn't it come out 6 times already? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Skyrim has come out 9 times. The original release, the Collector's Edition, the Premium Edition, the Legendary Edition, the Special Edition, the Skyrim VR Edition, the Switch Edition, the Anniversary Edition, and the Switch 2 Edition. When you have an Anniversary Edition, okay. Look at the development cycle, okay? You have Oblivion, came out in 2006. 2006? Was it 2006? Is that what I said earlier? March 20th, 2006, okay? Oblivion. 5 years later, in November, on November 11th, 2011, the original release of Skyrim. 5-year turnaround. Okay? And nothing was 16. It's the same game. Okay? It has now been 15 years since Skyrim. It has been 3 times the length of the development cycle of Skyrim since Skyrim came out. And we don't have the next Elder Scrolls game. Because it has been 15 years since the last one happened. It's been 15 years. 2011 to 2026. Nothing. I think the most we have on the Elder Scrolls 6 is we have that one teaser trailer that shows a mountain and the title. In 15 years. We need to stop making games again, and we just need to make new games. And I'm not saying we gotta make new IPs, just make new fucking games. I love jokes about how GTA 6 will make GTA 5 look like a PS3 game. Didn't GTA 5 come out in the PS3? Isn't it fucking old as dirt? When did GTA 5 come out? Released in 2013 on the PS3. I am not excited for GTA 6. I just don't care. They really lost what GTA was for me in GTA 5. It stopped being GTA to me. Because Grand Theft Auto was like a goofy, funny, stupid fucking shit that you do, and it just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun in 5. And 6 is gonna, it's probably gonna cost a bunch to play. And like, I don't know. Saints Row 2? I don't even like Saints Row. I don't like Saints Row as a series. How many times has The Last of Us been... I'm at the point where I want to know about The Last of Us remakes. I want to know how many times it's been remade. So The Last of Us was made on... Oh, it's only been remade twice. It still feels like too many. It's a game. It's one... Like, I don't know. To me, if you're gonna remake a game that like deserves one. If that makes sense. Remake a game that needs it. Santa Monica Studios, they make God of War. They're remaking the original God of War trilogy. I think that's totally fair. Those games are old. They were for the PlayStation 2 and the PS3. And they look old. They're old games. I don't think Rare can do anything. I don't think Rare is allowed to do anything. When was the last time Rare made a video game? Oh. Really? Rare is only allowed to maintain Sea of Thieves. Yeah, I saw that they made Sea of Thieves, and I was just like, oh. Ooh. Ooh. Rare is a company that really shot themselves in the foot, though. They fucking had it on lock for years. When you start a company with versus slalom, into Wizards and Warriors, okay? They made the first Jeopardy game? And Wheel of Fortune? Oh, hell yeah. And then they made Jeopardy Junior and they made Wheel of Fortune Junior Edition. Bruh. They made the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy games for a while. They made the Amazing Spider-Man for the Game Boy. They're making shit for fucking the NES. How much of their problems were because they were acquired by Microsoft? A lot. A lot of them. When Microsoft got a hold of them, they made shit that sucked ass. Like, I give them full credit for how stupid Donkey Kong 64 is, and the collectibles being like 70,000 collectibles that you have to collect as specific characters, okay? The game was still good. Banjo-Kazooie, fantastic. Banjo-Tooie, not as good. Conker's bad for a day. Pretty fucking good. Ooh, they made Star Fox Adventures. That's pretty bad. They made the Viva Pinata. See, they got acquired by Xbox. They made Viva Pinata for 5 games. What the fuck? Then they made it Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which was like they already fucked up with Banjo-Tooie, and then they fucked it way worse with Nuts and Bolts. So then the series is over. Then they made Kinect Sports. Then they made the Killer Instinct remake, which was actually kind of awesome. And then they get to make the Rare Replay, Sea of Thieves, and then Battletoads. And that's really all. Like, that's... Banjo X. It's a cancel game. I have an internal need for a good new F-Zero game. I don't think they're going to make F-Zero ever again. Nintendo is a company that holds IPs and just puts them away. They take their stuff and they're like, this is amazing. And then they just put it on the shelf. They never touch it again. They're like, that was cool. We're not touching that again. That's not Mario. Put that away. Yeah, they've got so much shit in here. They got so many IPs that they own that they just don't touch. Look at them all. Star Fox. They were like, damn, this was cool. Puts that away. Doesn't use it anymore. They tried some stuff on the DS, like the DS and the 3DS, and then they were like, nah, it didn't perform as well as I wanted. Puts that away. Oh, what's this? Earthbound? People love this game? Nah. Puts that away. Chibi Robo? People used to have a lot of fun with this. Nah. Puts it away. Oh, the Dr. Mario puzzle game? That's part of our main series guide that everybody loves. Puts it away. Like, can we just like not put shit away? I think that at Nintendo they probably have like a shelf with all the IPs that they put away, and they just look at it, and they look at it on the shelf and they go, oh, remember when that was cool? And then they just leave. Like, and yet Nintendo is so perfect with no mistakes. Nintendo is fucking full of mistakes. They make mistakes all the time. All the time they make mistakes. They only remake Smash Bros, Mario Party, Mario Kart, and shitty mainline Mario games. Okay. I will say, I'm giving Nintendo credit for 2 things. That scared the shit out of me. Holy fuck, there was a giant ass bug on my desk. Ah! Holy fuck, that scared the shit out of me. Nintendo gets 2 pieces of credit from me. One, sorry, I keep looking at it. I'm gonna try to like fucking see if I can do this. Brother, you can't stay here. You gotta go. You're not invited. You're not invited to the party. Get out. Get out. Well, whatever. It's gone. I don't see it anymore. Okay, sorry. Totally distracted. I'm giving Nintendo credit for 2 things. 2. They got credit for Super Mario 3D World, which wasn't actually that creative. It was not a huge expansion on what they've been doing. But it was fun, and it was simple, and it had a lot to do in it. It was a Mario game that was a Mario game at heart that had a lot of things to play around with, and it was a great time for, like, a family experience. It was a great, like, friends and family experience. You just play it and have a good time. They get credit for me for that. And it was a great, like, reminisce about the whole series kind of deal. Okay? That's all they get. Secondly, I think that Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are both bad games. I think that they're not very fun. I think that overall, they're just kind of okay. But Donkey Kong Bonanza is a great return for Donkey Kong as a character. It is a fantastic new stylized look at him with new gameplay, a lot of function, super destructible levels that look really fun. It is like it is probably the best thing Nintendo has made in the last while, because it's so new. It's finally something new made out of something old. It does feel like, it feels like a Donkey Kong game, but it feels new. And I hate Mario Maker. I hate Mario Maker, and I hate the idea of Mario Maker. Because they didn't make it. Because I don't think Mario Maker is a game. Mario Maker is a tool to make levels. And I think that, yeah, definitely not a game. It's a tool to make levels, and you can play people's made levels. It's just that it feels more like a mod, right? It feels more like a mod for an old Mario game, where you can just like make levels and play around and do whatever, which is what people in the modding series have been doing for years, and it's what people in this series of making their own fan games have been doing for a long time. People have been doing it forever. Sonic, Mario, anything old. Anything that's old enough that they can easily do it. People have been doing it. I just think Nintendo hates to change. It does. Nintendo is a company that doesn't like to change their ways and do anything new. The newest stuff they like to do is they like to play around with hardware. And I think even with that, they're becoming stagnant. Because the Switch and the Switch 2 are functionally the same. Like the N64 to the GameCube and the GameCube to the Wii, right? Those are huge changes. But then the Wii to the Wii U was nothing, and then the Wii U to the Switch isn't really a lot. You could see the evolution. But then the Switch to the Switch 2, it's more powerful, I guess. Most people consider a level maker a bonus feature in a bigger game. Yeah, it's called Forge in Halo. And Sony has become very greedy. Sony is greedy in like the shittest way. I just don't even understand. They're greedy in like the least greedy way. And I don't get it at all. It's like a company of idiots. We want to make all the money in the world. Bluepoint's like, hey, we can help with that. They're like, yes, do it. They're like, we'll remake Demon's Souls. They're like, that'll be the console seller for the PS5. And it's like, oh, that's sick. And Bluepoint's like, hey, can we remake Bloodborne? And they're like, no. And they shut down the company. And you're like, what? What? What do you mean? What does that mean? What even happened? They were going to make a game and just completely screwed it. Bluepoint could have been the company to remake every Souls game. They could have been the company to remake a whole bunch of old PlayStation classics. But the PlayStation was like, we're shutting you down. Where did we go? What happened? Is this okay? Are we okay? What happened? Sony, like, what are the PlayStation? What are PlayStation exclusives? What are? What? God of War? The Last of Us? Uncharted? Spider-Man, I guess? And maybe Wolverine is going to be PlayStation exclusive? I don't know. But is that what you got? Oh, Ratchet and Clank, I guess, if they make a new one of that ever. Xbox left the gaming market, didn't they? Xbox, to be honest, Xbox as a company, they're stupid as fuck, right? Everybody knows. Xbox is really dumb. But they've made way better decisions. They've made way better decisions. Way better decisions than Sony has. I love Sony. I love Sony consoles. I've always have. I love the UI for some reason. I like how the games play. I like the games that they've made. I always like the controller a lot. But Xbox was like, what IPs we got? We got Gears of War. We had Fable. We got Halo and Gears and stuff. And they're like, okay, what do we do? A lot less people are buying Xbox consoles. What do we do? They're like, what if we just said fuck it and you can just play them on PC? And they were like, what if we just said fuck it and you can play it on PC? And then they just did it, and you just play all their games on PC. Easy. They did it. And what did that do for them? Bam. It was solved. They fixed it. If they made stupid decisions, yes, we're going to increase the price of Xbox. Sure, okay? No one in the entire world is going to convince me. No one on this planet is going to convince me that out of the 3 gaming console services, right? Which one is the most value? PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass, or Nintendo Switch Online? Which one gets you the most? Which one is actually the most useful to gamers? No one on this earth can convince me that you're getting more out of either Nintendo Switch Online or PlayStation Plus as the value you're getting out of Game Pass. There's no way on this earth that you're getting that value. There's no way. There's no way. PlayStation's like, you can have a couple games every month as long as you stay subscribed. Like, okay. Nintendo's like, you can have these classic games that, if you pirate, run the same. Piracy's bad. Don't pirate. Xbox is like, we have like this library of like 500 games that you can just, if you pay us, you can just play all of them. Sometimes they're brand new games that literally just came out. And it's ever changing. It could change in the middle of this week. It could change in the middle of next week. You could just have more games for free. It costs you this much a month. PlayStation's like, it costs you this much a month to get 2 games a month for us. Nintendo's like, it costs this much a year to get these games from us. Pirating classic Nintendo games might get you a better experience. That's true. Like, Xbox as a company, I remember hearing it back in the day when the Switch was like newer, that they wanted to bring Xbox Game Pass to the Switch. They wanted you to be able to stream Xbox games onto your Switch so you could play Xbox games more. You'd pay like a subscription service to have an Xbox Game Pass on there. Think about how huge a project like that would be for gamers. You have a PC and you've got a Switch. You can play whatever the fuck you want. You can't play The Last of Us 2 because you don't have a PlayStation. But you can play literally anything else anywhere you fucking want to. Like, can we just... And this whole thing with PlayStation being, we need the PlayStation exclusivity for like 6 months to 2 years, where the new games that come out on the PlayStation have to come out on the PlayStation first and have to, they can't come out on PC till later. Why? Why limit the sales of the game? Oh, because the PlayStation needs to have the support? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Like, I'm sorry to say, the PlayStation 5 as a console is really just not necessary. What is your PlayStation 5 doing that your PlayStation 4 couldn't do? Realistically, 4K? Do you have a 4K TV? Are you playing your PlayStation 5 on a 4K TV? Are you satisfied playing a 4K video game at 30 FPS? It just doesn't do anything. It doesn't help anyone. It just hurts the sales of your game, and then like, PlayStation Plus Premium locks their classic games to an extra tier. What the fuck? I don't understand how PlayStation is still going. The last exclusive release that they had was what? God of War Ragnarok? Or was it Spider-Man 2? Because The Last of Us is they're done, and Uncharted at 4 I think was a long time ago. It was Ragnarok, yeah. So right, and like, I have the problem with the online marketplaces on PC as a whole, Like, I don't think that you need to have, like, I don't want to launch a game on Steam so it can launch the Ubisoft store so I can launch my game. Like, no, thank you. Rockstar was the worst about it. I hate the Rockstar launcher. That thing should have never existed. But, like, a lot of gamers are playing on PC nowadays. There are a lot of gamers who play on console. I will give them that. There are a lot of players who still play on console. But there's no point in the modern day to limit a game's release to a specific console. This goes for Nintendo too. I think that they're just being petty about it. I think that all you do when you limit a game's release to a specific console is you hurt the sales of that game. Tell me right now that Mario Kart World would not have sold probably double the copies it sold if it also released on PC. Like, would it not have? Mario Kart World came out exclusively on the Switch 2, right? Yeah. Okay. It sold 14.03 million units. Okay. $14.03 million units. If it was released on PC alongside the Switch 2, I understand that the Switch 2 would have sold less if there was less exclusivity in their games. If there was less games specifically for the Switch 2, there would have been less sales of the Switch 2. But if you release Mario Kart on PC as well, you're pushing that number up to 20 million at least. At least. It comes out on Steam, 20 million at least. If Nintendo released their games onto Steam or just onto a PC app of their own, they would make sales. Like, it would be disgusting. It would be disgusting. It would be disgusting. Donkey Kong Bonanza would have been huge. 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 How many Donkey Kong Bonanza, how many did that sell? Because it's probably not as many as Donkey Kong Bonanza sales. 4.25 million copies. 4.25 million copies. Yeah, Nintendo hates change, but like it. What was the last like 4.25 million copies? Like what? No, I don't want the peak numbers. I want how many players actually played it in general. No, I don't care about that. I want all the players who's ever played it. Okay. I need us all to sit. We need to sit and think about this. Okay? Right now. We're gonna sit and we're gonna think about this. 4.25 million copies specifically sold on the Switch 2. So something you had to have a Switch 2 to buy Donkey Kong Bonanza and play it. Okay? Keep that in mind. $1.29 million people. 1.29 million people played High Guard. I'm going to say this one more time. 1.29 million people played High Guard. Only less than 4 times that amount of people bought Donkey Kong Bonanza. And Donkey Kong Bonanza was put up for Game of the Year. Just have it in your mind. Think about it. So if you release Donkey Kong for the PC, how many more sales do you think it would get when High Guard had 1.29 million people play it? It just blows my mind. And this is Donkey Kong Bonanza, a single player experience that would have been fantastic for people. Okay. High Guard's a multiplayer game that still has 410 people playing it right now. Somehow. It just... Console exclusivity in video games in 2026 is just so asinine. How much? I need to know. You can buy the Game of the Year title anyway, right? No. You just have to do... Only 410 for a 3v3 or 5v5 multiplayer game? That's honestly sad. The game is bad. The game is a bad game, so it's not really that big a surprise. Wait, 410. It's 5v5. So that's what, 410? So they've only got 41 active games going right now? There's only 41 active games happening at this moment in all of High Guard. Oof. Welcome to High Guard. 41 games. Oof. Okay. How many copies of, like... Okay. What's it just a general... I'm trying to think of a generalized game that came out on PC that's like, it has like a Nintendo style appeal. That happened recently. How many Silent Hill F sales were there? Sold over 1 million copies. I would hope it sold over 1 million copies. Fuck me. That'd be a... I just feel like Nintendo could sell so much more and PlayStation could sell so much more once it hit PC, you know? Oh, game. Have fun. Hope it's good. I just think that, like, fucking... I think that console exclusivity just needs to go. It's so like done and gone. Yeah. Wait, what the fuck? Sony could be pulling away from PC ports of their single-player games. Wolverine would never release on the platform. I think the sense I'm getting is that they're backing away from putting their exclusive console stuff, like traditional single-player titles, on PC. Bruh. They fucking better never do that. That's the thing, okay. The console wars are over. We do need to stop punishing players. But, like, copies of games sold, okay. Helldivers 2, huge game. A lot of people wanted it. A lot of people wanted to play it. A lot of people bought it, right? It's very popular. Copies sold. Xbox, 1.6 million. 1.6 million copies sold on Xbox. 5.6 million sold on PlayStation. 13.1 million sold on PC. How many PlayStation Live services are they still making? I don't think that there's any PlayStation Live service games that are still being developed right now, are there? Marathon? Is Marathon on PC? Or is that PlayStation exclusive? Now Marathon's on PC. Oh my god, I could play it right now. I might do that later. That's so funny. I might play that later. That's so funny. Marathon and the Horizon live service. Yeah, the Horizon game's gonna fail. Even Horizon fans don't like it. Okay, like, I'd give the complaint that, like, not everybody in every game needs to be beautiful or whatever. Not everybody needs to be the most fucking attractive human ever, but, like, why does that matter? You think the fucking gacha games are succeeding because of the ugly characters they got in them? Fuck no. Fucking not a chance. You think Uma Musume is succeeding because there's ugly people in it? Fuck no. You think the God of War is succeeding because there's ugly people in it? Fuck no. Also, there's a difference between putting people of different, like, weights and things in your game, and there's pandering, right? You know? The Horizon game feels like it's filling a checklist. They're like, here's the fat chick, and she's also got a fucking prosthetic leg. And here's the black guy, and here's this, and here's that. But then you have God of War Ragnarok, and you have, you know, Kratos, who's just kind of ripped and fucking just... Whoa. But then you have Thor, and Thor's fat. Thor's just fat. Thor's fat and dumpy and looks like an idiot. But it doesn't take away from who he is. You know? Did Thor need to be beautiful? No. This worked really well. Oh, but other characters are hot. Okay, cool. Other humans are hot. Why do we have to have the diversity in video games, but like movies and stuff are like, yeah, whatever. Everyone's hot. What? Why do we have to do this? Why does this have to be the double standard? Like, can we just not? I don't even care about that. Don't make it pander. Don't make it like... It's like when you make like a gay or a non-binary or a trans character in a game. Don't make that their character. It can be a part of their character, but it doesn't need to be who they are. You know? I'm a trans woman, you guys know that. But that's not who I am. I don't come on here and I'm like, hey guys, this and this and this and that and this and this and this and that and this, and because I'm trans. No! Fucking what? It's a part of who I am, but it's not who I am. Like, come on. It's just like if you see like a fat person in real life, right? You're not like, that is a fat person and that is their entire personality, is they are a fat person. No. Wrong. That is a person with multiple facets to their personality, just like everybody else. You don't see like a fit person and go, that person is a fit person, and their personality is that they go on Instagram and post pictures about themselves. No. There's a chance that that's literally not who they are at all. Maybe they just like being active. Maybe the fitness part of their life was just something that they're so accustomed to that they just don't even think about it. Maybe they're just naturally a fit person. That's what I mean, is taking somebody down to a stereotype of who they are, or taking somebody down to a single facet of who they are, is like so asinine, and you lose the people who are that, right? You lose the audience you're looking for when you pander in that way. When you are specifically like, we have a fat person in our game. It's like, okay, what about them? What about them? When you have somebody like Billy in Deadlock, they're not like, we have a goat guy in our game. No, Billy is a character who has his own personality. He's that like old head rocker anarchist kind of guy, like the Spider-Man guy from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. The black guy who's from England or whatever. He's that archetype of character. That's the Rock comment about if you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a movie, your personality now is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's just a thing of movies where they don't understand how to write characters, and some people have restrictive contracts that make it so that their character has to be a specific way. Like Vin Diesel is normally Vin Diesel, right? In movies that he's in, he's normally the guy from he's the guy from Fast and Furious. That's his character. But he's also Groot, who is a completely different character. Valve has actual fun with making their characters. Like half the cast of TF2 they're illiterate? I didn't know that. I don't know a lot of the lore of TF2 because I never really liked it back in the day. But the game was kind of doofy. This wasn't very fun as a shooter to me. And the loot box item thing pissed me off. Yeah, Sony doesn't know what they're doing. This live service thing with Horizon, I hope flops really bad. I hope it's not one of those things where people are like, oh my god, it's so bad, I have to try it. I hope it just dies. I hope nobody tries it. I don't know. To me, Horizon was not a big game. You know, like it was okay. I never played it, Horizon, really. I tried it a little bit, but I never really got into it. I don't think Horizon was a title that was something that I think people were like really, really into. I think that they were like, this is okay, but I'm gonna give it up. And then they made the sequel, and I was like, okay, I guess it was good enough that they made a sequel. But then I never heard anything about the sequel either. So it was like... And then they're making this, and I'm like, who's asking for this? Who is this for? What audience is this for? Why are you making this? I just... There's a lot of games coming out nowadays by the big publishers and the big developers and stuff where my mind is more, who is this for, instead of I'm excited to see that. And that includes Nintendo. They're coming out with stuff that I'm like, why? Metroid Prime 4, I understand who that was for, but when you see the actual gameplay of it, it's like, who is this for? Because that's not the Metroid Prime people. Don't want that. God of War, I understand the people who want that. I see it totally. Another Last of Us remake? Who wants that? Horizon, who wants that? High Guard, who wants that? Battlefield 6, I will give them that the Battlefield people wanted Battlefield 6. I played Battlefield 6 for a long time. Battlefield 6 was surprisingly fairly good. I think that they're kind of fumbling it a bit now, but it was pretty good. I just think that I think that the big companies that make games back in the day had passionate fans of gaming who made video games. And I think nowadays the people who are making video games are people who are like, I want to make something and make a lot of money. Not, I want to make something and I want it to be really fun for gamers. And I think that goes for like major things too. Like, I think that World of Warcraft is in a place where they're making stuff that's not for the World of Warcraft people, and it's not going to be fun for them, and it's not going to be fun for new people coming in either. I think that Final Fantasy XIV is going in a direction where they're making stuff that's not fun for the people who've been playing it, because they're simplifying every single thing of every single aspect of everything. And they're adding stuff that nobody cares about, and storylines that don't matter and feel insignificant. So it's just like the people who are making games that people want to play, they're making games that they think will be fun for people to play, are indie devs who are really into gaming, that really love gaming. And there are games that show you that developers don't seem to understand what gamers want in a video game. And some people will fight for them, say they're masterpieces, works of art that are fantastic. The Last of Us as a series is not a great game. It would have been a great movie. The Uncharted, terrible game. Fucking, even like Death Stranding. That's a video game where you walk around. It's not a good game. You walk around and fall down and stuff. Sure, it might have like a in-depth story about connections and stuff, but like, it's not a cinematic experience. You're not making a movie. You're making a game. It's sad that big publishers are making stuff like Death Stranding and The Last of Us and shit like that, and then we have indie devs making games like Mugenics. And Mugenics is huge and people love it. And it's a game where you breed cats to make new cats to go on adventures and kill other cats. Like, we've lost the plot of gaming. Nintendo seems to still understand how to make some fun games, but then they just regurgitate the same shit over and over, which doesn't win them points with anybody. Cult of the Lamb, which we were supposed to play today, but probably won't now because we don't have time. Fantastic game. It's fantastic. But it doesn't have it. But it was made by Devolver Digital, and they normally make small projects. But small, in air quotes. But it's a game. It's a game with a story in it. It's not a story with a game in it. I can't even think of the last, like, major release that I had that I've played. Like the story of, anyway. Reminds me of Hades. Sort of. The gameplay's pretty different, to be honest. Hades is a lot of dashing. Like, a lot of dashing. You can at least see the intended audience for Palworld. Yeah. I don't think Palworld's all that great, to be honest. But again, you can see who would want it. But, like, please, Resident Evil Requiem's coming out, what, tomorrow? Right? Resident Evil Requiem is coming out tomorrow. Okay? I get it. I completely understand. I know the audience of people who want to play it. It is a game. It's a Resident Evil game, and it is a game with a story in it. And I see it. A lot of games I play feel like they're dead/dying. A lot of games that I played in the past, like through my life, feel like they're dead. Some of them are, right? I played the Jak and Daxter series when I was young. That series is dead. Spyro the Dragon, that series is dead. They killed it with Skylanders. It died long before that, but they tried to resurrect it but killed it again. There's just a lot of games that are so cool that that we just give up on, and the indie side of things is just so much better. They're doing so much better with making games that are interesting. And it makes me sad that gaming right now feels like if you don't make a cinematic masterpiece with the little bits of gameplay in it, then everyone will leave and fuck you, your shit sucks. But but that's not it. That's not how the things work. It's not how it goes. It needs to be a fun game. A game that told you literally that gameplay was so important. It is a game that was an experiment. The devs even said they wanted to make it so that it would prove that gameplay mattered more than everything in a video game. Hotline Miami, the first one, Okay? The devs who made it wanted the story to be so fucking dumb and make like almost no sense to anyone unless you look so deep into it. Okay? They wanted it to make almost no sense so that players wouldn't focus on it, so that they would just play the fucking game. The game. They just play the game, and they play it and they have fun. And if you're having fun, you're playing the game. Hotline Miami sold like a bajillion copies, and it was so popular because the game was just fun. Because the game was just fun to play. They just broke it down to, oh, this is fun and cool, and it's like a fun, cool little puzzle game. It was fun. And the story was like, I don't know, you're high or something, and you put the masks on and masks kill people. Whatever. Hi. We're supposed to be playing Call to the Lamb, but we're talking about gaming in general. You came in a weird time. You came in on a weird stream, but hello. I played War Thunder for fun, and yeah, it used to be more fun, but yeah. No Magic the Gathering. Elder Scrolls kind of suffering now. Yeah, a lot of stuff is just like... A lot of games just aren't they're just not games anymore. We're just not gaming anymore. What happened? When I was younger, right? When I was younger, we had like, you have Call of Duty and you have like Halo. They're like the shooters, and that's your competitive shooter. There's no like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch and this and that and you and this and that and this and that and this and that. Everything's got to be competitive. And the single player games weren't literally just like, here's a story with some fucking, we thought about gameplay afterwards kind of situation. Like, we were games. We were playing games when we were younger. I'm actually confused. The conversation is about how the like modern major publishers and game developers don't make good games anymore. We don't have good games coming out from people anymore. And the indie devs are the people who are making games that are like good experiences, that are good games, that could have like fantastic stories in them. But they're good games first. And some big publishers do make good games, right? I will pull the curtain and say, yes, there are some big developers that make good games. FromSoft, it has been really hitting it out of the park. That, like, the Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 to 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, Armored Core, good. They're doing great. They're doing great. The stories don't need to be fantastic because the gameplay is so fantastic. Wonderful. But Naughty Dog, Ubisoft, fucking everybody. Fucking look at Capcom. You guys saw me play it. I love Monster Hunter as a series. I love Monster Hunter as a series. The final monster for Monster Hunter Wilds came out as Gogmazios, and I think that Monster Hunter Wilds is not even close to my favorite Monster Hunter. It is generally, for me, not very fun. It's not very good. It is okay. Rise and World, miles better. Like, it's just miles. I think that games need to be like really put in and made to be games. We gotta make video games to be fun. Don't give a shit about the story. My Monster Hunter was good. The stories were garbage. The gameplay was amazing. Are you gonna play Call to the Lamb? I said this like before you came. Probably not, because I can't go for much longer anyway. And I wasn't expecting to ramble this much during stream. But probably not. I thought I would ramble for like 20 minutes today and then we would start. But we've been going for like almost 3 hours. And I don't even know how all of our ramble was about how games are stupid now. Okay. I think games need to be fun. I think big publishers need to have... I think they need to do some restructuring. I think they need to go through their people. I think they need to go through the developers, the designers, the people who come up with the ideas and stuff, and they need to get rid of everybody who thinks that the game is about making money. They need to start having fun developing video games. I think we need to start having fun making video games again, and we need to stop making it for money, because it's just not... Are we making a game, a product, or money? You can make a game that is a product that makes money. Cult of the Lamb definitely made money. Enter the Gungeon made money. Silksong made money. The thing is they made those games first. If you want to make a cinematic experience, like I will give games the fact that you can make a cinematic game that is fun, right? Right. Having executives that have no experience with games is a big problem. There shouldn't be people in the games industry that have never played games. Gamers should be the ones working in the games industry. You should have to... I've talked about this with friends. League of Legends, as a video game, feels like the people who make it don't play it. And if the people who make it don't play it, don't make it. Right? If you're making a product that not even you want to play, why the fuck are you making it? So, in all honesty, what are you doing? When you make a movie and there's a premiere for that movie, the people who go to the premiere are the people who are in the movie. Do you think that they're sitting there in the audience like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen? Bitch, you're in the movie. You know what's gonna happen. You were there. Like, you think that the people who made Silksong were like, oh, fucking thank God we finished that. We never have to touch that shit again. We don't gotta play that shit. Thank God we finished that game. Now we don't have to play that at all. Like, you know what the funnest part about being a game dev should be? You know what the greatest, like some of the greatest feelings should be? If you are making the game and then they're like, hey, here's a test build. Can you like play it and see if it's fun? And you're sitting there at your desk, you're like deving, you're like blah, 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 trying to add a feature, whatever. You finally add the feature and then test it out, and you're like, holy shit, that's so cool. That should be so fun for you. You should be so into that. And then when all the other features are added to the game, you go to play the final delivered version of the game, you're like, holy shit, this was so cool. I can't believe me and everyone else in the team made this. It shouldn't be like, oh, thank God that's done. Ship it and let's forget about it. No, it should be... Yes, you might be frustrated and overwhelmed with the amount of work you put into it. It might be like, okay, I need to distance myself a little bit. But... finding a bug and turning it into a feature. That would also be cool. Like... The... development, yes, can be hard. Absolutely. But it should also be fun. And then the making of the game should be fun, and then the game itself should be fun. You shouldn't be like, oh, I wonder how we render this cutscene to make these characters look as, like, realistic as possible so this scene can have so much weight that it's like losing your own parent. And it's like, okay. it can have that kind of weight in a game, but like that doesn't need to be the whole, like that would be someone's entire job for the entire development cycle. Like, please make the game fun. The process of making the game should be its own road. But like, people need to be passionate about making games again. And the people who are passionate about making it make indie games, and those indie games, you feel it in it. That they're so passionate about the game that they made. You can see it. When like the one-man projects come out, I haven't played Animal Well. I can't speak to how fun the game actually is, but the guy who made it was so like, he was so into it. Apparently there was going to be a ton of dialogue in the game, and then at one point he was like, that's way too much shit, and he took it all out. That's amazing. And you can have cinematic experiences. I'm not saying you can't. We've talked about that already today, but you can have a cinematic experience as a game, but it needs to have a game first. It needs to be the game and have fun for the game first. I think I'm looping again. I think my rant is looping, but... Stardew Valley, it was the Harvest Moon game that the creator wanted to make. So the creator wanted to play that style of Harvest Moon game. Perfect. You made it. Cool. Amazing. Well done. Like, we just need that. You know? There's a game I want to play. There's a game that I'm going to play a demo for, make a video out of for YouTube that you guys are going to probably end up seeing. It's based on a game that even I want. That clearly this person wanted, they were like, fuck it, we're just gonna make it, and then they did. So it just, you know, I could go on about this for a long time, and I could loop back and forth on myself over and over. As an unrelated statement, cleaning and doing dishes is so nice during the stream. Yeah? You enjoying me ranting about gaming while you're cleaning up? We can rant on stream more. I gotta have the topics to talk about. And today it was just the gaming. So my dissatisfaction with the gaming industry right now, which is why like I'm looking at classics more to play and indies and stuff. It's why I'm like trying to relive those times, or like go back and play games I never did that are like really important to gaming culture. It's because like the games now just aren't cool. They're not fun. So like, why don't I go back and play the stuff that everybody loved? Ryan? And there's some games that are cool, or at least look cool to me, that are coming out, and I hope that they're fun and awesome, but I don't know. And it's why when the big developers come out with a fun game, I'm so in to play it. My wife and I have been going back playing older COD games and Wolfenstein. I mean, I have a video on my channel where I played through Modern Warfare 2019. I haven't played the Wolfenstein games. I've never played any of the Wolfenstein games. I want to play through the Doom trilogy. I've only played the first one, like the new Doom trilogy. Apparently those games are fairly good. But it's why when good games come out from big developers nowadays, I'm so excited. It's because it's finally a good game that came out from somebody that's a big developer. And it's not to discount indies. They make great games too, but when the big developers make it, there was a lot of people behind it, so those games not only look fantastic, but are also fun to play. You know? Okay, guys. We've been going for 3 hours, and I haven't played Cult of the Lamb at all, and we've been sitting in the Cult of the Lamb category. Clearly, we baited someone into coming here. I think that's mostly what I wanted to say. And I don't want to play the game for, like, you know, I'd only have, like, 30 minutes probably at max to play it. And there's other work I want to get done. So I think I'm going to call it here for today. We might come back tomorrow. There's a chance I stream for a bit tomorrow. I don't know how long I would, but there's a chance I might stream tomorrow. But yeah. If not, I'll be back on Monday. I hope you guys had a great time today. I loved having this conversation with you. I liked the interaction we had back and forth. I liked getting it all out. It was nice. If you want to watch back any part of the VOD from today or some yesterday or the day before or whatever, they're all up. They're all on YouTube. So if you want them, they're there. But yeah, I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I will maybe see you tomorrow, and if not, hopefully Monday. Okay. Bye-bye.